Countdown control. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Scott Allwood, and today I'm going to watch an episode of VR Troopers. This show was a Fox Kids show back in the 90s. Watched it when it was out. I bought this in 2007 for $1 from my closing video store, Second Cinema. I don't think I ever actually watched it though, so today's going to be my first reintroduction into the VR world. VR Troopers, Virtual Reality Troopers, let's go! So during the theme song, the opening credits, everyone gets decent still frames, right? You got Ryan, and then JB and Caitlin, cool. And then it goes over to like the rest of the cast, and it's like they gave up. Just like, oh, here's a video of him walking. And then it goes to the character Professor Hart, played by Julian Combs, and he just looks bored. Like, he got the role and immediately regretted everything about it. I gotta stand in front of a green screen? Okay. Just tell me when you're recording. Oh, you already recorded and you're just using that footage for my opening credits? Okay. At least the guy presented before him seemed to be having fun. Why he has his finger in his hot coffee is not information I have. Maybe it's a crucial plot point of a previous episode I don't have access to, because I only have this and one other episode.
Of all the memories I have of my childhood, the ones I treasure most are of my dad.
Main character Ryan is having a flashback right away of his childhood. Front flipping, back flipping in front of his father, just having a grand old time. But forget about that. Cut to the main three teaching a class in kicking. Like, it's just that's all they're doing in front of this class. Did they say watch us do kicks for a few minutes and that's how we're gonna start the class today? Their boss is not having. He's like, no more kicks. All right, we'll get back to the basics. But then this random woman comes in.
I'd like to sit down. Okay. I think I've lost my memory.
So you decided to go to a children's karate class to get help with your memory? I don't know how amnesia works, but I feel like you still remember what a hospital is. Somehow we cut immediately to the bad guy lair, who knows exactly what is going on.
She went into severe emotional trauma when she was evicted from one of your apartment buildings.
So?
It's the main bad guy's apartments she was kicked out of that gave her this amnesia, and he's not worried because he's kicked thousands of people, evicted thousands of people, his words.
I've evicted thousands of people.
The women with him, who I guess are his little evil women buddies, are scared that they're going to run a news story in the newspaper about it. Like, uh-oh, a woman lost her memory. And then somehow that's going to fall back on the main bad dude. People lose their memory all the time for whatever reason. Why in the world would they think, oh, yeah, it's, well, I guess it's probably the main bad guy around town.
Forces of darkness, empower me. Take me back to my virtual reality.
I'm confused how this virtual reality works. He somehow connects into VR by just sitting on his throne. They're just monsters, just already there in this world that he went, and just like, when's the main boss dude come in? Oh, here he is. Yeah, whoa, we love the evil.
Curse those meddling kids. Soon my armies will deal with them.
Curse the meddling kids? What is this, Scooby-Doo? And the kids who he's referencing have nothing to do with this woman. She just walked into their dojo and was like, I don't remember things. Commercial break, we cut back. The memory loss woman is just eating ramen noodles and enjoying them more than I've ever enjoyed anything in my life. And then cut to the weird stares and laughter about this. Bacon Boy, who is what I'm going to call JB because his name is actually the actor Michael Bacon, which I find very silly. Anyway, Bacon Boy says Ryan, which prompts Ryan to say like,
Ryan. Excuse me, I have to make a phone call.
And then he just picks up the phone immediately and the professor's on the other line.
Hi, Professor. Yeah, this is Ryan. Is my surprise ready?
And Ryan's like, oh, do you have a surprise in store for me? What?
Yes, Ryan, you must come immediately. There is no time to waste.
Is this about the woman or some random surprise that he has for Ryan? Or, either way, maybe just respond by awkwardly hanging up the phone and not saying anything. Perfect. It's been a few seconds, so we gotta go. Well, oh, fuck my hair. Meanwhile, back at the evil bad guy lair, where the main bad guy calls upon General Airstrikes, I don't know why we're back. I guess he's calling his little mean bad guy buddy to go, again, referencing these people as meddling brats.
Not fail me this time.
I will not, sire.
Meddling brats.
The two evil women ladies from before are at the dojo now, and they come in, they're evil because the music's playing. It's like evil music.
I don't remember any. That's okay, Mom. We'll take care of you now.
Come on, Mom. We're gonna take you home.
Then they ask, well, do you have ID?
Identification?
To prove that this lady is your mother.
And apparently they forgot their this is my mom ID because they just immediately leave. Michael Bacon, JB, runs out to see what these ladies are up to, or I guess they're by a Jeep, and then they change into their little putty forms for some reason. Like, why would you do that here? Just right outside the dojo. Oh, we didn't trick them. Might as well turn back into our regular forms before going back to where we need to go. We're 7 minutes into the episode. We haven't had a fight sequence, so we got to have a fight. And then, he beats them up pretty good. But once they get knocked down, they get back up again. Even after he throws one into boxes in the ground, throws another in boxes in a truck. Apparently, two bad guys being tossed onto each other in the back of a truck on top of boxes makes them shock violently and die and disappear forever. Bacon Boy immediately knows the evil guy, Skuggs, has an interest in this woman. So, they did it before. So if you would have just not messed with the meddling kids who weren't doing anything, you were meddling. Now they know that you have an interest in this woman. So we're at the professor's lab, and there's a dog performing science to make popcorn in the most complicated way. It's so simple to make popcorn, and they're using all these gadgets and stuff.
You like it buttered, right?
You know I can't eat anything. I'm in a machine.
Have to eat it all myself then. There she blows.
And apparently he's a Jack Nicholson impersonator. Why they had him talk like this, will never know. Hey, what if I did this as Jack Nicholson, this voice of the dog? Producer. Brilliant. We tried to get Jack for this role, actually, and he denied us. So why don't we just go ahead and have the dog talk like this, and maybe he can go ahead and pop you some popcorn in the most complicated way. The professor calls Ryan on the phone, tells him to get there immediately, to tell Ryan that
I have intercepted several of Grimlord's communications. The laser bot is attempting to burn through the reality barrier with a super laser.
It's not a pretty picture, babe.
Well, I better call JB and Caitlin.
Ryan, of course, wants to get Katie and Bacon Boy and go take care of this mess, and Professor says there's no time. You need to transform right now and go do it yourself.
There's no time, Ryan. We must intercept them immediately.
Yeah, there's no fucking time because you didn't just tell him on the phone. You made him drive his motorcycle all the way to the fucking lab. Apparently you just put a little medallion in the air and you transform into a suit. A motorcycle with a sidecar on it is swooped into the building, which is the surprise, apparently, a gift from his father. He drives off on it, and this thing is cool because apparently it just flies. He's just flying around in this motorcycle sidecar hover plane back in Evil Land. Somehow the bad guy already knows Ryan's driving in this vehicle. Does he have cameras up in everywhere they are, or does he have trackers on him? What's going on here?
Ryan Steele is flying his new VR turbo cycle. I will destroy him.
One of the minions has named it VR Turbo Cycle. Oh man, he's got the VR Turbo Cycle out, even though it was just given to him from the professor as a gift from his father. How the fuck do they know what it's called? Are they just giving names to these things now? Immediately transports right to where Ryan is flying his motorcycle in the air. And he's flying in his VR Turbo Cycle and is locking onto him. And like as if he's like a jet with missiles locking onto another jet, shoots the missile, misses. Locked on. Shoots the missile, misses. Does this show know what locked on means? If you're locked on, aren't you going to explode the vehicle? Forget what I just said, because he gets hit, which causes him to lose control.
I've been hit! The gauges are going crazy!
He's flying straight towards the bad guy, who screams, "What are you doing?"
I can't steer! What are you doing? Oh no!
As if the bad guy who is also flying towards him like this can't just go and the VR turbo cycle can just go away and crash into something else. But no, they just commercial break. What's gonna happen? We cut back. Explosion! They hit each other direct on, blow up, fall to the ground.
Come in.
Professor immediately messages the other two, Bacon Boy and Caitlin. Luckily, they're next to computers because all it says, the message is just flashing on their computer screen, 911 lab. And they're like, oh, we gotta go to the lab. It's an emergency. The bad guy who just exploded with Ryan, I guess, got up and went, well, better go back to main bad guy lair because he's just hanging out at the lair now suddenly. Instead of, I guess, finishing the job and killing him, he's like, well, I'll go back to the main bad guy lair. Where the main bad guy, Scuggs, is pissed.
Even your crash failed to destroy him.
And then we cut back to Ryan, who now lost his memory due to the crash. And he's talking to a flower, just hanging out with a flower.
Such a pretty thing. I wonder what you call it.
But JB and Caitlin they find him.
What's that?
There they are!
Air Striker! This way!
I have located the targets!
JB and Caitlin transform and then take them to the VR world to fight, which I guess is just a desert. A lot of tanks shooting and missing the good guys. Holy fuck, JB shoots a dude in the head and he's just like, you're gonna pay for that.
You're gonna pay dearly for that.
And he doesn't pay for that. And JB ends up killing him easily with a bunch of hee-haws. This is the funniest part. It's like,
We did it, Caitlin.
Ryan gets his memory back after Jeb lies to him, and boom. So he's just got his memory back. He's like, you're a fucking liar. That's not what happened. As for the lady who lost her memory, her daughter shows up at the dojo, I guess from reading the newspaper they put out. And bam, mom looks at her in the eye. Oh, my daughter, my memory's back. I hate this show. I cannot wait to watch the next episode. I have one more at VHS tape. And I'll see you then. But this was hard to get through. But that's basically what happens to this episode. This woman loses her memory, affects nothing, and then the bad guy wants to kill the good guys. And I guess that's how each show's going to be. Bye.